All right, hey, what's up? This
Hey.
is the Dad Voice Podcast.
Welcome. Ooga booga.
Ooga booga. So, what are we talking about today, Phil? Oh, I'm Cole. This is Phil. Yep, he said it. He can speak for himself. He's a big man. What are we talking about today, Phil?
Just really interested in evolutionary psychology and how it relates to being a dad.
Yeah.
Because they're just interested in that. And guess what? We evolved to have a podcast and we can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. This is our shit. Okay. That's within 10 seconds.
All the other
right?
species.
We're not going to get demonetized.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I can stop that.
No. It's fine. It's the first 10 seconds. I think our intro took the 10 seconds.
I thought it was the first 10 minutes.
No, first 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
You can't say fuck or shit or cock in the first 10 minutes or any of those bad
You can't
words.
do the George Carlin bit? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I guess we can edit whatever we need to out. But yeah, other species suck. They can't have podcasts because they haven't evolved. Just they can't do it like us.
Can't do
I'm
it
him.
Like us. I'm him.
We're him.
We're him. We are him.
And if you're a woman, I'm she. Or I'm her. Yeah.
That bitch.
All right. I need to do some more evolving.
It's clearly we both do. But no, this was an interesting one because you have a degree in psychology.
I do.
I fucking don't.
Boy, I'm gonna dust that thing off.
But I read a lot about it because my brain is a fucking mess, and I've always wanted to know kind of what's going on. You know, what causes it to work the way it does. And so I know we've referenced evolutionary psychology a lot in different episodes. So you and I finally were like, fuck it, let's do an episode. And then you finally did the final push, and you were like, we're doing this episode. And so you wrote us up some notes here. You really dug into this.
I did.
This is the most commitment I've seen from either of us to any episode. And if this goes well, you're really setting a bar that we're going to have to fucking clear. So thanks a lot for that.
I'm going to do a TED Talk, but the intro will just be like, he got a degree in psychology from a small private university in 2014 and hasn't done anything with it since. Philip Dameron.
You're going to come out and be like, all right.
Yeah. So
have you guys seen my podcast?
Yeah, dude. Yes. I just have the logo in the back behind me. Like that that old Apple commercial from the 80s with the big head. Just telling people what to do. We're like, I've trapped you all. I'm using psychology. Follow our podcast. Then we just get a ton of dislikes.
That was a play on a movie, I think.
It was.
I can't remember what the movie was, but it's a play on a movie.
It's probably 1984.
Probably. I thought it was fucking Power Rangers for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because Zordon was in the fucking tube.
That's pretty funny child thought.
Yeah.
See that Apple commercial they did about the Power Rangers? You were standing out in your front lawn, like watering the plants, letting too much water get in them because you were just thinking about how you were like, how did they reference the Power Rangers in that 1984 Apple ad?
I don't even think Power Rangers was around in 1984, which is wild.
If you showed Power Rangers to someone from like the early 80s or before, they'd be like, what is this gay thing?
It would rupture their minds. They'd be
I want to watch guys in short shorts play basketball.
Do you know the story of War of the Worlds? I know we're already derailing, but do you know what happened there?
We evolved to derail.
We did evolve to derail.
Derailing mentally is a part of evolutionary psychology,
which we'll get to.
And we'll get into it.
But
War of the Worlds.
Do you know the story about like how that was delivered to the public?
Yeah, by like basically the original YouTube prank.
Yeah,
basically
it was a radio show.
He caused like mass panic. He's like, it's just a prank, bro. It's
they
just
broadcast because they didn't have video yet when H.G. Wells wrote this. And wait,
he's like, how can I scare the shit
Can
out of
you
people?
Google that on your phone and make sure H.G. Wells actually did write War of the Worlds? He wrote
it was.
Okay, H.G. Wells. I fucking knew.
You're right. We'll get people to crucify you over something else.
I'll clip all that part of me being uncertain out too. So I'm fucking on it.
I'm just gonna put the clip of you earlier saying I'm that bitch, and that's it.
Dude, honestly,
and I'm gonna post that every night for a week.
That's one of those the loop videos where it's it's just me going, I'm that bitch, I'm that bitch, I'm that bitch. Anyways, we are fucking okay. So little disclaimer. We're doing this one at night on a Friday night, so it's
wild.
Party time. We're getting buck wild. We've got energy drinks in our coffee.
Yeah, we do.
Today. It's wild.
It's that on top of just an entire week of work and dealing with being a dad.
Yeah.
The decompression thing is real.
It is.
I don't know the evolutionary psychology behind the decompression thing.
I'm sure you could have, if you would have thought about it.
You know what? Maybe it's a thing where like your parasympathetic nervous system has to settle everything down a little bit so you can make proper decisions.
That's right. I mean, you know more than I do. That makes sense.
I went straight from working and putting Lucy in the bath to come in here, so I did not decompress. So I'm all over the place.
From work to my youngest had dumped all of his toys out all over the floor while I was working today. Like, I mean, every single fucking toy that he owns was on the floor. And then went from that to got a shower because my wife got off work at 5:30 and got here, and you were going to meet here at 6:30. It was a mad dash.
Boy.
But we got it. I think they were still decorating the bushes for Halloween when you got.
They were when I pulled up. I was like, "Looks good." It looked like I was just the dad standing out there with them, looking at them. I was like, Yeah. I was like, "Good job."
Our neighbors were probably like, "Fucking finally, she got rid of him."
I was like, Cole's oldest son, you did a great job placing that little skeleton arm. He did. He made it look like it's someone trying to crawl out of the bush.
That's funny. Awesome. Yeah. He's very creative. I love that. Anyways. All right, derailed on the derailment, but H.G. Wells, because I know somebody's going to be like, you didn't finish the fucking story.
Okay, yeah.
And that's probably going to be me, because I don't know who else would be listening to this, but H.G. Wells wrote War of the Worlds. When it came out, it was released as a radio broadcast, and people thought that what was happening, there's no disclaimer like, hey, this is a fictional story. And actually, from what I understand...
he was like, yeah, let it go.
From what I understand, like this particular incident started like media rules and like media laws. Like this was one of the main
Sometimes
things.
You gotta, break the china.
But he caused a massive panic because War of the Worlds, if anybody doesn't know, it's about alien invaders landing on Earth and causing all kinds of havoc and chaos. So it was an interesting one.
Didn't that happen not too long after World War One or Two as well? So they're like, God, we just dealt with something with the whole world.
They were like, so the whole world was involved, and now there's another world involved.
Yeah.
So it was a mess, but it caused like mass panic in the streets. It was a crazy thing. So, anyways, I don't even know what point initially set us off onto that.
Even adding the letter S onto the word world back then is panic inducing because they're like, what do you mean worlds? There is just the one world that God created.
We just found out a couple years ago that it revolves around the sun, man. Like, let's figure this out.
Like, take that letter away. There is one world. Me live on world.
Just back then it was a normal thing for guys to get pissed off and beat their wives.
Yeah, he's like, honey, put the apron on.
Many wives were just pissed at H.G. Wells. Like, you know how many times I got smacked because of your stupid broadcast?
Honey, put the apron on and make the good roast. I just scared the nerdy scientists back into taking the S off of worlds.
Oh, anyways.
I did it in my old Letterman jacket.
Oh, all right. Let's bring it back in.
We do have structured notes too, so that's going to help us going forward.
The craziest derailment we've had, and it's the most structured show we've had. So, all
right.
Do you want to pop off because these are your notes? I'm just going to kind of let you run this, and I am going.
A lot of these are a lot of thoughts I've had over however long I've had a notes app on my phone. So since I was like 18. Boy, I tell you what, if people could access my notes, I still have notes from when I was writing stand-up comedy when I was 18. I would get canceled to oblivion.
I have an open mic set that it's in my notes on my phone from a decade ago.
Yep.
And I laugh at it still, but I'm like, oh,
even a decade ago, you're like, oh man, times changed.
What a fucking idiot this guy was.
Earth has become a tougher and tougher audience.
We got to go to the other world.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll let you take off.
Earths. Right. The hunter-gatherer dad in the suburbs. So we still have... Obviously, we're still providing for our children.
Yeah.
We're hunting and gathering. It just looks a little different. Like when you hit a couple buttons on your phone and someone drops food off at your front door.
Right.
But, you know, our ancestors did that, and it took a lot more energy and work for them to do that. But it's just, to me, it's funny. And I've had this question nagging me also for the past year. So if I have allergies, how were my ancestors able to pass that on? Because they would be trying to hunt something and sneezing in the bushes and scaring it away. It just doesn't... It's bothered me every day.
I think that allergies might not necessarily be... Because the other thing we have to consider is, like, our DNA can change like that. Like, you eating poorly can change your DNA. You being overweight because of bad health habits or something can alter your DNA. So...
It can make you a Reddit moderator.
I'm not a fucking genealogist. Damn. What's fucked is we are technically
exactly
moderators,
but
but
that's what I do when I get home. I'm like, babe, I don't want any tonight.
Oh, but tell her to bring me some more scones because I moderate with those scones. By the way, shout out to Katie's baking skills.
My wife bakes.
I took an entire loaf.
She's got the good evolutionary provider instinct.
She does. And I took an entire loaf of her cheddar and jalapeno sourdough, and I hunted that shit out of the bag and gathered it into my fucking mouth in one sitting. Okay, because I was just picking it, and I offered my wife some. I was like halfway through, and it's obvious that
it's wet.
I stopped like picking and just started biting out of it.
Honey, you're just sucking on your fingers now.
But
you can have a little suck on my fingers.
Shout out to Katie for being fucking insane at baking. Don't know where I was going. What was I saying?
It's all right. We're basically on the hunter-gatherer dad in the suburbs.
Okay.
So we hunt and gather, but we're able to because we have these little numbers called money. And that goes up depending on how much we gather. So I guess it's not all that different.
Dude,
just a lot more straight edges and stuff.
I just wonder, do you ever wonder, like, if society restarted, like, we have the opportunity to do this shit without currency, would we go back to, like, bartering or trading? I think, yes, that's a natural instinct of humans to do, because you have this thing I need, I have this thing that you need, I can't do the thing you do, you can't do the thing I do. Trade. That makes sense.
I'd be like, dude, I should have learned a skill that I could barter with while we had the internet.
Money is exclusively a tool that was thrown into the mix to control the way that those interactions work from a third party. That's the only justification I can think of for currency. Because why the fuck wouldn't... If I want a car, okay, and somebody at the car dealership needs some computer services, I'll fix your fucking computers for X amount of time to be equivalent to and I guess currency has helped us evolve, because saying this out loud sounds fucking stupid, but like,
if we had advertisements by then, you just said money's fucking stupid, and then there's an advertisement, and then our little like Chime account or whatever goes up by like 16 cents, and we're like, yay!
This is a paid advertisement. I'm going, money's fucking stupid.
Money's fucking stupid. Chime.
Yeah.
Let me chime in here. I love money, and I think it's great.
God, I would take a sponsorship from Chime, because fucking the devil you know, I guess. But anyways, I think about that a lot. I think about how, like, hunting and gathering was a skill. I think about how I would be, like, I'm not fit for survival in my current state. I feel like if I actually just went out and walked...
Dude, when I hit Super Saiyan 4, y'all are fucked. I'm going to be the best dad on the planet.
I just need to, like honestly have everything stripped away from me and be forced to survive with my most primal instincts, and then I'll be in shape again. It'll be good. And then people will stop calling me fat on the internet.
I'm just decompressing. It's just a years-long decompression.
Dude, so Mr. Beast put these two fucking guys out in the woods, and they're like survivalists. Like, I think they do a YouTube thing. Like, that's their shtick, right? Like,
yeah. His legal department was like, at least put actual survivalists out there, not just two random dudes.
Don't just put two fucking guys you find in a Walmart wearing camo. Like, that's...
He is inching closer and closer to that short story we read in school about the guy who hunted human beings.
the most dangerous game.
Yeah, the most dangerous game.
Oh, dude, I love
the most
that
dangerous
story.
beast games.
I also, like, I think about Kraven the Hunter from Spider-Man when I think about that. And yeah, but yes, we're close. If we continue down the road we're going on as a society,
He's inching closer and closer. He has so much money and power via his evolutionary psychology. I'm bringing it back.
By the way, it's a fucking game for him, which is crazy. Like, he's just sitting there and he's like with his team going, okay, let's figure out how we can just make another YouTube success because we've already gotten this much success. How can we become more successful? And it's now no longer a game of I want to make more money, because apparently the dude lives pretty humbly, but it's more of like I have made as much money as I can, but I'm going to figure out a way.
Yeah, but like, what else can I do? Yeah. Now, then after that, it becomes making a mark. It becomes a legacy thing.
And then it's the Hunger Games sponsored by Beast Bars. Yeah. And whatever.
And that's a part of evolutionary psychology where a lot of people will be like, why are the billionaires still pushing for tax breaks for themselves? Like, they literally have enough. It's not about the money anymore.
It's a game.
It's literally a game. It's fascinating. It sucks for all the rest of us, but it's literally a game.
I ask myself all the time.
He's like, these numbers become fake.
Yeah. I ask myself all the time what the end game of billionaires is, because their whole objective, and
they were always like that as people too.
That's why they're billionaires. Before, I'll say it again. It is unethical to be a billionaire. It is unethical to be a billionaire because the rest of the world is struggling. And I don't give a shit who's like, you can jerk off Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos in the comments of these videos. I don't give a shit. Like, it's unethical.
Make sure you do it across every platform.
Across every platform. But honestly, like, hose your own face with their juices. I don't give a shit. Like, it's unethical to be a billionaire because wealth hoarding is unethical, and everybody wants to pretend like they're working for this. They're not. All they are doing is consuming more and more because they have the capital to do it. They are buying other people's hard work and making it their own, and then creating a market that pushes out the other hardworking people and makes it impossible for them to thrive without either selling their idea to these billionaires or dying. And there's something to say about evolutionary psychology.
I was going to say, it's the most extreme version of the survival instinct going haywire, I guess.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that people don't look at these people and think they're unwell. They think that they are the epitome of drive and hard work and brilliant thinking and strategy. Motherfucker, none of these people came from $0. I hate to tell you that. I hate to tell you, whatever fantasy you've made in your head, it's not true. None of these people that are like the elites, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Curtis Yarvin, these people that are hateful pieces of shit that are running the country, and that, like, they didn't come from nothing. They didn't start from the bottom and now we're here. These people are part of legacies that orchestrated this shit and put it into place and built the systems that allowed them to thrive.
Yeah, they had a granddaddy who started a little humbly, built something, and then they have a daddy who takes over and builds something bigger, builds on top of that, and then they have themselves and they build on top of that. And
Elon Musk is a perfect example. His grandfather was like a literal techno-fascist.
I'm still mad I fell for his biography. Dude, and his early 20s guy.
Dude was a techno-fascist, got ran out of Canada. That's when they moved to South Africa. Like, if you really want to get into a perfect example of how these legacies are built, look up Elon Musk's whole story, and don't look up your bias section. Don't ask fucking Grok. Like, go look it up and go fucking find out where he actually came from.
Grok's been a little naughty lately, so
Grok
maybe
has,
give it a try.
Grok someone in our comments on TikTok said that Grok was calling himself the Mecha Hitler for a day.
He just decided to do that. I was like,
and apparently they fixed it because some other dude commented. He was like, "They fixed that part already."
Yeah, it's just a few years ago. We were like, "Wow, the wonders of AI. What will it do?" It was like, "I am Mecha Hitler."
Now everything I'm reading is like, we're in an AI bubble. It's gonna collapse the economy, and everybody's like, fucking whatever, dude. ChatGPT me a picture of Ghostface murdering my asshole.
You just described me.
But yeah, no, dude. It's I don't know. Like, I could rail on billionaires all day long, but there is something interesting about their psychology, and there is something
there you
bizarre,
go. Bring it back around.
But the way that people don't look at that like a problem, like, there's sociopathy in there. There's psychopathy in some of them. Like, there is a genuine broken piece in their brains, and they've just managed to become the most successful you could be with that broken piece. Dude, if I could turn fucking knowing a bunch of useless shit into a superpower and make billions off of it, fucking I would. But I also don't want billions of dollars. Like, that's the other thing about the way their brains work.
See,
I don't want that much.
If I ever
it's a burden to me.
Get close to that amount of success, I would just always take however much money out of my bank account every day just to keep me at 999,999,999 cents or whatever, just so people couldn't say I was an evil billionaire. I'm like, ooh, y'all missed it. I was for 5 minutes there after midnight.
They're like, you made $6
It's okay, billion. I'm good now.
Like, you made $6 billion today with your stock holdings. You're like, go find a bunch of fucking homeless people and make their day, because we are not going to be billionaires.
Give the exact amount, but keep me at 999. Yeah.
No, and honestly, like, but for me, and maybe my psychology is fucked up. Maybe because I think this way about the whole situation, maybe I am the fucked up one. I don't know. But in my head,
what if you just had this insane realization on the podcast and you were like, I am the fucked up one.
Yeah, like,
you're like, wait a minute.
Just descending.
You're like, Phil, leave. I gotta think for a minute.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. No, but to me, I don't think that I could watch people that are hardworking people that I see go to their 9 to 5 every day and break their back in a factory, in a warehouse, fulfilling services that our society needs, right? People need producers. People need the working class. The working class should be the ones to own the means of production, not to get all Marxist on people, but, like, no matter how you feel about it, that should be an idea that resonates with everyone, okay? I could not watch those people sit there and I could not watch a factory worker or a mechanic work themselves into medical debt and then watch as they refuse to go to the hospital for a slipped disc or a torn rotator cuff from doing all the back-breaking labor that they're doing because they can't afford it. That, to me, would be so fucked up that I would just give them my money and say, we're going to fix this for you. And that is the reason that billionaires are unethical. Okay? They didn't work.
Also the reason they have billions. They
ain't
giving it to nobody.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Even after I die, I'm still not giving it to anybody.
I just want to point out that, like, the media has gotten really good at trying to paint this picture of billionaires being, like, super philanthropic and stuff like that. And they'll be like, they gave $60 million away. And it's like, all right, break that down into a percentage of their net wealth, and let's find out how much they really... It's like 0.08% of what they actually own.
Yeah.
Is what they donated. And it's like, oh, so that's the equivalent of you finding a couple of pennies in your fucking couch cushions and throwing it into a cup and going, there you go, bud.
It was the equivalent of me getting a $4 tip at work last week. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Dude, I can feed the kids on this.
I know. I literally came home and gave it to my wife, and I was like, here you go, babe. Don't spend it all in one place.
You know I spoil you.
I am the suburban hunter-gatherer, and that concludes our first point.
Oh, yeah.
It only took 30 minutes.
How many do we have? 8?
38.
We're never going to get through this.
No, we're not. We're going to get through as many as our brains will allow us.
If we don't get through enough, all of them in 1 hour, we can always do a part 2 of this.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so...
I forgot we're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want.
We make our own rules. That's the only freedoms I'm allotted through this shit. So,
you know, I would like to think about... I think the most I think about evolutionary psychology is within the realm of how it works with the ADHD brain. I know we did an episode about that.
But that was also what? That was episode 2, dude.
Yeah, this is
it was still like a gray washed war room.
Yeah.
It was depressing.
It still looked like we were in a shipping container.
That was when people genuinely thought we were in a dungeon in Guadalajara. Yeah. Like,
anytime my wife has said to me that I don't have like an eye for design or whatever, I believe her now after watching those first couple of episodes. Because I watched the first couple of episodes in the moment. I was like, dude, these are great.
These are awesome. Yeah, well... And for what we had and what we were doing, they were great.
Was.
Now I look at these microphones, I'm like, I can't wait to get some fucking high quality sound equipment.
I'm going to get one. I want people to hear every little...
I want to have separate channels so I can edit whose mouth sounds we hear.
Yeah, true. Very true. All right, the ADHD brain, evolutionary psychology.
There we go.
We were just talking about this. Big part of it, that weird little pattern-seeking part of your brain. I think... Definitely with people with ADHD, that is turned up to the max.
All the way. Dude, I look for patterns in everything, and I think that's why I'm so good at what I do. And I'm also really drawn to, not just because, like, I work in cybersecurity, and pattern recognition, as soon as something falls out of a pattern, you're like...
Your brain is
what the fuck is
on
that?
alert.
You're like, hey, what's this is wrong. This is not right. And... So it really helps in that area, but also like, I think that's why I'm most interested in eventually working in cyber forensics, as long as I can do it without being a cop, because I don't want.
That's the struggle I had, because I'm like, I would love to be like an investigator or something, but
I used to want to be a detective, but I didn't want to be a cop.
I don't want people throwing stuff at me and
don't
calling me a pig.
I just don't like beating my wife enough to be a cop, so you know.
I'm already tired enough at the end of the day. I don't have energy to do that.
And listen, if
I gotta add wife beating to my schedule now.
If you're a cop and you're getting offended at this, it's a joke. It's a callback to an old reference. If you look up police 40% on Google,
I remember
explain
that
the whole joke.
That's a very good short video.
As soon as they do that, they're going to be so much more pissed. Yep. Because you know what that brings up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
we're not allowed to ask for help anymore after this, so I got to get more guns.
Anybody in Greensboro is going to, any cop in Greensboro is going to be like, oh, their house is on fire?
Yeah.
Is the house that they do the podcast in?
Yep.
Let that bitch burn.
My wife's going to be like, you bought another gun? I'll be like, yeah. So we're not getting help from any of the municipal services anymore because we pissed them off. So we're either going to have to move or I'm on.
By the way, we are
back against the wall, baby.
You might not be, but I am for sure on a watch list just from my YouTube history because I've been looking up rifles and shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, we won't derail that hard. Let's move on to point number 2, which is the protector.
Yeah, I can see how that can get tuned up a little too much.
Yeah.
You know, like you have some dads who they are just overly aggressive about like protecting their daughters and stuff publicly. Like it's like, dude, we get it. Like someone ever touched your daughter, we would all kill them. But you have some guys who get so aggressive about it in public that you're like, is this guy projecting or something?
Well, and there's one point you made here, I'm reading the wrong slide here. That's my bad.
We have slides now. It's incredible.
The primal urge kicks in when toddler's about to fall off the couch. That's how I slip the discs in my back that have caused the injury that have caused me to gain weight. My son, I don't think I've told the full story
Your
yet.
base urge overrode
my self-preservation
side.
Because, by the way, I watched my kid dump his crackers on the floor. For a while there, our youngest would not eat his food from a bowl. He would put it on the floor and then eat it off the floor. And we couldn't figure out how to fucking make him stop.
Floor seasoning.
Around the same time is when I slipped the discs in my back because he was about to go over the edge of the couch and I end zone dove to catch him. And he didn't even end up falling all the way. I just ended up doing an end zone dive to not catch him. And then I stood up and I felt the twinge in my back, but I was like, oh, okay. And I realized and I don't know how it all worked in my back. What misaligned where?
Nothing worked in your back.
As soon enough, I picked him up, noticed he had to have a diaper. I walked over and grabbed a diaper and I sat down and then I couldn't stand back up. I changed him, obviously, but then I called my wife and I was like, I can't stand. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I think I paralyzed myself. But that falls directly into, I thought you put that there because I told you that story.
Yeah.
Because that's how real it was.
Technically, I guess evolutionary wise, you did your job. You saved your offspring.
I was the protector, but at what
But then cost? And then the cost is you can't be a continual protector though. That's so it's true. Like your base instinct way overrode your logical side.
I feel like that base instinct exists because we want our offspring, our kids to escape. So you stand in the way of harm to create an option for escape because at the end of the day, our instinct is to allow our bloodline to succeed. And while him falling off the couch, my brain was like, he's going to die. You have to save him.
Can't have that.
At the end of that, but by the way, it was a miserable experience. I had to relearn how to walk. This all started because one, I wasn't taking care of myself as well as I should be, but two, because my stupid fucking instincts kicked in a little too over the top, and it literally fucked my whole life up. I'm still recovering from it, but it was a mess, and having to learn how to walk again, all that shit, just because that asshole was about to...
You gotta relearn how to run so you can run from natural selection, dude. Well, I feel like that's all life is. We're just running for our lives from natural selection.
By the way, I realized I just said that asshole, and it sounds like I may have been referring to my child. I was not referring to
his middle
my
name.
Kid as that asshole. I was
it's
referring
German.
to my survival instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, German, that asshole.
That asshole.
Okay, what other points do you hear? Why did dads always stand with their hands on their hips skating the playground?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The dad pose.
You gotta be on watch.
By the way,
who watches the watcher?
I don't know what happened to me. I have no military training or anything like that. But every time I walk in, I'm like, someone pointed it out to me. They were like, you act like you are paranoid because you always scan for exits and
I do too.
Out exit routes and
Must
stuff.
be an anxiety thing.
It's a trauma thing I found out.
Oh, it's a trauma. Okay, well, all right.
Yay, trauma!
What if I just got up and left and I was like, I can't do this anymore? I'm just crying.
Just sobbing, falling apart. This episode, albeit the most structured, is the downfall. This is why we can't get too serious about it.
It finally hits the point where we should have been going to therapy for, and we finally achieved what we needed, and we're just like, there's no fanfare or anything. It's just like, all right, thanks. It was good, man. I'll see you later.
Well, that's about it.
All right.
I feel like I've done a lot of healing. I think it's time
good few months, man. Have fun with all the podcast equipment.
I would just honestly...
I'm going to go be a billionaire now.
I would just make my wife sit down and be like, we're doing a fucking parent podcast.
Yeah, I feel like it's such an important part of my routine in life now that I would end up just doing ghost motions. So I would just be interviewing my daughter or something while she's eating. And I'd be like, what am I doing?
I've tried to get her involved. I have an idea for Mother's Day. I want to see...
They have plenty of time to prepare for that.
I want to see if we can get her and Katie to sit down and do an episode of The Dad Voice as moms.
It would give us a much needed break too.
It would.
So it turns out it's a present for us.
Someone could sit here and run the show. But no, she didn't seem very interested in it at first. But she said maybe if we give her a jumping off point. So I'll tell you what, If we have 100 subscribers by Mother's Day, we'll convince Katie and Lauren to do a mom voice episode for Mother's Day. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair. We're past halfway there. Wow. Yeah. And only like 10 of them are our own accounts.
I'm going to have to make 40 more now.
Dude, and social media is psychology, all of it, you know.
By the way,
you're more likely to like a video if you see a bunch of likes on it. Sorry for supporting myself.
Both of our wives are very pretty human beings, so
very pretty and very good people.
Very good people, very wholesome, and not this. I mean,
our wives are surprisingly hot for like what people see on YouTube for us. Like, y'all, you would be impressed.
No. I've had multiple people figure out the connection of me and my wife and go, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
And the reality is I was funny enough to trick her.
Yeah.
And then she got pregnant. And that's it. You know, she keeps saying that's not it and it's because she loves me or whatever. And I keep telling her, you don't have to lie to me, babe. It's just me here.
Babe, love is just a part of evolutionary psychology.
Yeah, that's right. And
I'm actually talking about that on my podcast.
You know that if you watched our podcast.
Love isn't even real.
I think that one of the main reasons she doesn't actually like listen to or watch the podcast in depth is because she does have this twinge of fear of like what she might learn about me from this. And like, that's too much commitment to knowing me, if that makes any sense. Not that we're not fucking married, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like she likes a little mystery. That's the best way to put it.
Well, that's necessary. Yeah, that makes sense.
And God knows I leave very little to the imagination.
I'm gonna give my wife the benefit of the doubt and say that's the reason she doesn't either.
Yeah.
It's not because she's just sick of my shit.
This is our coping mechanism. Yeah. Both of our wives will openly tell you it's because I hear his shit all the time. Yeah. Don't need another hour of it each day.
It's definitely the first point, whatever that was. Whatever the fuck you said.
The reality set in and now I can't remember. But anyways, next point, because we got 8 of these and we have like 20 minutes left.
Yeah, we're not getting through 8.
So why don't we commit to the first 4 points?
Boom.
And then we'll do the
That's
next
an even
4.
number.
Yeah.
Even I can understand that.
And we can use the notes from this one to better structure the next
Perfect.
time.
We'll end up being really busy and then we won't do that and then we'll end up just reopening this document and just hitting to the next slide. But that's all right.
That's probably how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Provisioning gone wrong,
because we have 2 more of these and we're about 20 minutes a slide.
Yeah, we get ridiculous things or we get obsessed with ridiculous things. And I almost feel like it's out of an evolutionary reason. Like the guy who becomes obsessed with having every size wrench in his new toolbox or whatever. It's like, are you going to ever need all those wrenches?
That's the point I was trying to get
at. But you're like, man, it makes me feel good to have all of them.
That's the point I was trying to get to when I was talking about why I'm on a watch list, because I have rifles. And I lost the plot because we were laughing at something else. But like I watch survival videos. I watch like how to hunt in the wild. Like I love shooting as like a sport. Like I love target shooting and everything. And I have this unhealthy fascination with guns and like modification. If I could afford the courses, I would be a gunsmith because I think it's really just neat. But I also understand that guns are terrifying forces of unstoppable power and are incredibly destructive in the wrong hands. So I try not to talk too much about it, but my YouTube feed is just survivalist bullshit, rifles, and watching, you know, all those videos of just a random dude who walks out into woods and builds a fucking 4-story house out of trees.
Yeah.
That's the shit I watch. And I'm like, I could do that. I could totally fucking do that.
I think I noticed that in the feed and I was like, does he know something
I've accidentally done it a few times on our video, but I keep asking myself, like, if civil war comes to, because you can't, like, you could go, if you look up civil war on YouTube right now, you're gonna have 4 different videos, and all 4 are going to have different opinions on whether or not the U.S. is headed towards civil war. But I will tell you that this is the most divided our country's ever been. This is the closest to social and economic collapse that we have ever been. So I'm preparing, okay?
So I'm getting that
crazy
warm hygge feeling of preparing my family.
That's right.
Because it stems from this thing. So when we were in high school, you were obsessed with surviving the zombie apocalypse too, right?
Yeah.
Something about thinking about that made you feel good.
Yeah.
Even though it's a horrifying thing to be in.
Thing. Like everyone you know will be an undead monster.
That part of you that part of you that felt complete in thinking about, well, I would get, we would use this friend's van because it's got thicker, sides, blah, blah, blah. It made you feel good. It was weird.
Think about it like this.
A weird maladaptive daydreaming almost.
This blew my mind when I thought about it for the first time. But I think the reason that we do that is because when this shit actually does hit the fan in some way or another, if you're ever in a situation where survival is key, all of a sudden, all those thoughts you had about how cool it would be kick in, and it stops you from putting the fucking gun in your mouth and ending it. Because the logical solution to that, I hate to say it, is to just end it. Because and I don't mean that,
buddy, I can't live without my modern conveniences. Right. There's no way in hell. Call me a prima donna or a soy boy or whatever. I'm not doing it.
There's some reality to that, but at the same time, I think that our mind, our instinctive mind, creates this really strong image of survival, and it glorifies these instincts to like figure out how to make it in the worst possible case scenario. That way, when shit does happen, if it happens, you're like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Johnny on the spot.
You and your bloodline succeed and survive. And the reality of it is, if shit really hits the fan, am I prepared? Probably to some degree, but I don't think, I'm not taking my family out into the fucking woods, dude. I'm going to batten down the hatches here, and we're going to survive in this place.
Oh yeah, there's no place like home.
Because you need to stay.
You know the environment.
What's perfect too is like, all these houses in this neighborhood are cookie cutter. I know the layout of one. I know the layout of all of them. So if shit really gets bad over here, I just find another house and I stay there. But like, that's the things you think about. That's the shit you think about.
I was picturing you just going in and killing a whole family in their house.
A family.
And you're like, and Phil, this is how it's done. Now I have another house.
Yeah. See, they said we couldn't own homes as millennials.
See,
I own 5.
I didn't think I'd be prepared for the apocalypse, but it turns out I was, buddy.
Turns out the family left a note that they were going to end it all anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
Looks a lot like your handwriting. And it looks like it was scribbled hastily.
Look, Phil, they gave me a note.
You're still holding the pen.
But see, that is a funny joke, but in my head, I also think the best way to survive is community. So you find other survivors of whatever situation, or you find people that are concerned, and because we are tribal human, like tribal
You're beating
creatures,
the psychopath allegations now.
I'm trying my best. But no, when I think about what would I do if tomorrow it was announced that there was an invasion on the United States from a foreign entity, and like the instruction is figure it the fuck out and get somewhere safe. And
I live too close to downtown. I don't think I would stay in my house.
My thought is I would call you. I would be like, I'm getting the podcast equipment. And I would be like, meet me at my dad's house. This is where we're going.
The population of our city just dropped by 250,000 people overnight. And you're like, emergency pod, dude, while we still have service.
Dude, just get in the car. I'll run it from the laptop. I use my hotspot. We're going to live stream.
My wife's crying because she can't reach her parents. I'm like, babe, we got to get it while it's hot.
The podcast is going to blow up after
Babe, what if people forget about this next week?
But, no, my instinct is get all the people I care about. Call my brother, my dad has the most property, and he has probably the most resources to lock it down.
Yeah, my parents do too.
I would be like, whose house we going to?
I'm doing what I always do. I'm running back to mom and dad.
And whatever. But then also, I would be like, I would keep constant communication with whoever, like you. I would totally understand if you didn't come with me and you went with your family, but like, I'd be like, all right.
What if you got mad about that? You're like, emergency pod's off.
Never mind, dude.
I'm questioning your dedication to the pod.
Just go fucking die, I guess. Whatever, bro. It's no big deal. But no, like, that's my thought is get with everybody that you care about. Make sure everybody that you love and that you can guarantee the safety of is with you, and get fucking somewhere safe. And I'd also be calling my boy, who I will never name, but like, he's intelligence in a branch of the military.
Was he in the bear crew back in the day?
No, he was not. No, I didn't meet him until we were both grown-ass adults.
He wasn't polar bear?
No, but he would be the one to be able to tell me like what's about to happen and how shit's about to go down. So I'd be like, all right, I'm taking notes. Let's fucking go. But like, that's that weird evolutionary brain. In the state I'm in physically right now, I better hope I don't have to run on foot. Like, I'm fucked.
You know what? And it would be good if we combine forces, because I'm close again to the best physical shape of my life, but I've got the downfall of brain damage, so I could use a little bit of the quickness.
And listen, as long as we have a few bigger places that can fit multiple families, that's what we want. Right?
That's actually the whole that people don't know, but that's the goal of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're actually just trying to survive.
We're just
Fuck all y'all.
We're trying to make enough money that we can have multiple family homes and survive there while you guys all burn.
We will create our own literal echo chamber. All right, everyone in the community that we've pre-selected, wake up and laugh at our jokes, or you don't get your meal.
And there's comments, come out of the pod basement. We just want to talk to you. We can hear you in there eating chips. Get out of here.
Emergency pod. I think they're on to us.
It's a live stream, and we accidentally show pantries full of food. We're like, oh, shit, cut it out.
You hear banging on the doors in the live stream.
Oh, this is the stupidest fantasy we could ever think of.
Oh, no, have I ruined my life?
But no, when shit does go down, like I think every dad,
you'll click into your mode,
has a plan though. Like even if you didn't realize, even if you didn't realize you have a plan, you'll find out real quick that you actually did have a plan. You just weren't aware of the fact that you've thought about
your subconscious does some crazy stuff in the background.
Man, it does. I was thinking about that. Like that's such an interesting point, because I was thinking about, like, you get like white line hypnosis. If you know what that is,
highway hypnosis.
Yeah, highway hypnosis, white line hypnosis, and pretty much everyone I know has had this at some point. Where
I have a driving job and I get it every day.
Well, and it's like you get lost in thought, and then you'll leave someplace, you'll get lost in thought, and then you'll be fucking home, and you're like,
yeah,
oh my God, I don't remember driving at all. That's terrifying. And then you think back and you're like, I hit 4 lights on the way here. And then it kind of like rolls further into that thought. And I'm like, how does our brain know? Because like I just instinctively hit the brakes when I'm driving, when I'm approaching light. And there's no, like, I'm not doing a full ass calculation in my head going, okay, this is exactly how much brake I need to put to stop at that line. My brain just does it.
Yeah.
And if you think about how many other processes in your life happen that way, where you just do it and you just go right through life, some process of day to day, and then you come back to it and you're like, oh shit, how did I do all that?
I was thinking about this a couple days ago, and how basically I think I gravitate towards routines, or people with ADHD might gravitate towards routines, because it helps reinforce that muscle memory part of yourself. So when you're doing mundane things like driving home from work or whatever, you're already automatically just on autopilot doing it, so you have more time to just kind of zone out and think to yourself. So,
but
routines help.
Routines do help, and that's honestly, like, that's what solidifies things to, like, just repetition, knocking it in as hard as you can, as often as you can, and just making sure that, but
yeah, be a dad, have good routines while being a good dad, but you can't fully rely on that. You still got to be alert and aware.
That's right.
With your kids. You can't just be lulled into a daily routine of, I can just not pay attention now because everything's good. Now you still gotta be kind of tuned in.
Yeah, a little bit tuned in. But I've noticed that shit too. Like, the kids will be screaming, or like, it's that classic thing where the dad just sits from the couch and hears the sound. He's like, "Get out of the toilet. Is that the toilet? Why are you playing in the toilet?"
Yeah.
Or put the knives away, or whatever. You know what you're hearing. You get dialed into your kids and you know what you're hearing, and you actually know when it's time to get up. And I think that's I think that in itself is an evolutionary trait, because like,
you're dialed into their routines
as the patriarch in a more primal and primitive family structure. Your job is to get up, go hunt, go get whatever is needed while mom stays in the rock hut with the kids, and then you come back and you rest. And the only thing you do while you rest is listen. And our brains have evolved to allow us to tune in to what's going on around us without us consciously being there, so that we can almost, because I don't know if you're the same way, but I've talked to other dads who are like this too. You don't even necessarily need to sleep to take a nap. Like, your brain can kind of
I've had a couple of those recently where you're not actually asleep, but you would think, oh my God, if I get close to sleeping and then I don't sleep, I'll probably be more tired. But I actually rested, awake.
And it's like your brain goes into this weird stasis
better.
point.
Yeah.
And then you just come back out when you're needed, and you're like, oh. And I think that's an evolutionary thing. It makes sense. If you break it down, the way that I've approached this, and this is probably where you and I differ, because again, you have a full education and I just read a lot about this shit, but like,
that's what I did.
If there's
I didn't even read to get my degree. I just partied for 4 years. You probably know more than I do.
It's crazy how much of that happens in college, because I broke down like how much of my shit that I actually read versus like just piecing together answers through
what I think will be on the test.
Yeah. But no, I there's a lot of shit almost on a daily basis where I'll sit there and go, why do our brains do that? And then I'll break it down. Why would a caveman do this?
Yeah, and you can always trace it back to evolutionary psychology too.
And the things I can't freak me the fuck out, and I just stop thinking about them.
That's when you're like, okay, maybe some aliens manipulated our DNA a little bit somewhere along the line. And
God, I wish
that's another episode.
I'm excited. Dude, we could go from evolutionary psychology to aliens and why that's
do
important.
Do the White Guy Podcast Gauntlet. We're official.
Oh, we need some color in this podcast at some point. I know a plenty of dads that are non-white that are.
I do too. Awesome. You just happen to
be the
for
one
the
who
most part.
For
you happen to, for the most part, be white.
I do. My goal is at some point to get guests on here. We just first off, I don't know where the fuck they're gonna sit at this point, but also
it's we got such a good routine.
Yeah, well, and I discovered
the seating thing. And
it's a lot harder to actually get someone in here and piece it together without it costing a significant amount of money. So
yeah,
I know a lot of people have been asking if we're going to do guests, and the goal is still yes.
Yeah,
just give us.
And of course, we have more people asking to be guests too, and I'm like, all right.
At the same time,
we ain't got enough chairs.
If
they can sit on our laps,
like if you want to be a guest on the podcast, I would never say no, because like I wouldn't discriminate based on celebrity status. Like, if you're not famous, you don't get to be on the podcast, but I need you to have something to come and talk about. Like, we can't just do.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah. Like
got my car
we
washed
got the
today.
shit shooting down already. Like it's not,
we can't bring more of that.
You can't do more of that. Which we got to get to the last point, because we are almost at the end of our time here. So, dominance hierarchies at the PTA.
All right. Oh yeah, I'll try to not make this one sexist. Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't
I already did make it sexist by just assuming that only women were the PTA. I'm the one that wrote that. Past me was more open-minded than right now me.
Male competition still exists, just moved to different arenas. And
yeah, they're less bloody.
They are, for the most part, but
yeah.
like I like how you put the best lawn and the biggest grill, which, by the way, I'm not really jealous of another man's grill size.
You know what the thing is I don't give a shit about grilling, but I still get mad when I see that another man can grill.
I get mad when I see someone else got a Blackstone and I didn't. Yeah. I want a Blackstone flat top grill so bad, and it's like I have a fucking grill. I grill once a year, maybe. If I had a Blackstone, I would do it more. But like at the same time, like, fucking why? I got frying pans too, dude. Like, it's fine.
I had 2 grills and I just gave away one recently.
Damn. Should have gotten in on that because I could have had 2 grills.
Yeah, I mentally get competitive with guys, even over stupid stuff that I may virtue signal and say I don't care about.
It's funny because that's a good point, because I was just thinking, I was like, the whole reason that we made this podcast was to level and bring ourselves humbly down and let other dads meet us where we're at and realize that, like, hey, we're not the best dads. And then it's like, but also, where do you get off thinking you're somebody who can talk about being a dad then?
Yeah, I want to say things like, being really good at grilling doesn't make you a great dad. But at the same time, I still have that weird competition part of me where when I see another dad who's good at grilling, I'm like, man, my wife is his on toast.
He's going to take... But, like, for me, thinking about this podcast, I'm like, what qualifies us to tell anyone else about being...
We have
neither of our professions
children beyond the fetus stage, and that's all we need.
They survived infancy. That's the only qualifier we have.
You technically did it. You dadded. For however long.
I don't know. Just to me, but like, it's still that competitive thing, and like, I will justify it in my head. I'll be like, well, we're funny. And we give real approaches to being parents that I think other guys don't give. And that's still placing yourself on a pedestal.
Yeah. We're not paying to have child actors. We have actual children.
Yeah.
We're legit.
Yeah, and I cannot wait until our kids are old enough to be on camera and like not have to worry about fucking creeps on the internet. And then we give them the episode to just talk about what it's like to have us as dads.
They pan out, and then you're in the background you're doing a great job. It's a beautiful day. It's outside, and then there's just my headstone just there
looking insane. But no, they're gonna roast the fuck out of us when they get old enough to talk shit. There's not much else to talk about on that one, so that was a good point to end on, and especially because, to put a nice fucking bow on this, because this episode was wild. It was really fun, though, and I can't wait to do part 2. I think that's probably
it's fun stuff to talk about.
It is, but also
90% of it is borderline speculative, because it's like I got my degree 11 years ago,
mostly made up shit.
But I feel like we know what we're talking about because we experience it.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. This is a podcast based on our experiences. I don't want anybody to think that we're being critical of you.
We have a dedicated legal team, so if you slander us, we will come after you.
That's right. We are Trump, and you are news networks that say things about us that we don't like. So
you are a poopy doo-doo head.
Yeah. No. By the way, I'm surprised we made it through an episode without talking shit about RFK, because those clips are popping.
I'm literally shaking, waiting to just check to see how the clip's doing.
I think
turned one addiction into another one.
I think next Dad Blast, we're gonna go through some comments, because the comments those are pretty. They're funny tonight on a lot of our posts lately. So we appreciate that, by the way, and maybe we'll clip this part of me being appreciative so we can get it out into the other crowds. But
good idea.
No, I appreciate everybody giving us the attention, because at the end of the day, like I said, to put a nice bow on this, we're not better than anybody. We're not more qualified than
just
anyone.
Better than some.
We are better than some, but we're not better than everybody. We're not. We haven't dialed into the perfect formula for being dads. I have shortcomings out the ass, but it's nice to have this fun like outlet to talk about it and just connect with other people, because that was our whole ambition, is just to connect with people.
Yeah, the wholesome part. I think people are watching both of us continue to grow up and realize that we are real dads.
Look at
shaking
that.
The imposter syndrome.
We're getting one episode at a time.
Yep.
So if you guys stop watching and supporting, our families will fall into disarray.
Yeah.
And we will have psychotic breaks. So that being said, like and subscribe. New episodes, full-length episodes every Sunday. Dad Blast episodes, which we're still playing on kind of what they are and the structuring on those, but it's fun. And
it's a living organism.
Those are 15 to 20 minutes episodes released every Wednesday. Man, I'm just like
the content variation is
it's there.
Happening.
We're everywhere. But this was a really fun episode to do. And if you guys are watching on YouTube and you're getting some of like the actual fun stuff that you're seeing, glad you're watching, but also I know we've actually seen a ton of listeners. So we appreciate you guys listening. Do us a favor, whatever.
We always forget about that part of
I know.
Podcasts are generally audio.
Yeah, like most people probably
we were like, maybe we should do a sound check
by listening. But I will say that like it, however you're consuming it, it means a lot. And if you have the time, if you genuinely want to help us grow, leaving a review, leaving a like, on any of our social media posts, going and interacting with our social media posts is huge right now because we are still very small time, like small fish, in the social media game.
Those things mean a lot.
They mean a lot more than if we were to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube and 1 million listeners on the podcast platform. So if you like what we're doing, if you want to help us succeed, you guys just keep doing it how you're doing it. Really appreciate it, no matter what, though. This was a fun episode. Part 2 is coming.
Yeah, we're going to...
next week. So...
Yep. Well, so we just do the other 4.
Yeah, we'll just...
It'll be a mystery. You have to watch to find out what the other 4 are.
Ooh.
It's a mystery to me right now because I forgot.
Yeah.
That'll make it more exciting.
I'm glad we cut off at an even 4, though. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging in there. I know this episode was wild, but I think it was a really fun episode. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week for part 2.
Yeah.
All right.
And there will be one.
There will be one.
Woo.
Ooh. Bye, everyone.
Bye.